Carnosine is a naturally occurring molecule and it's composed of two amino acids, histidine and alanine. As a dietary supplement, it's been available for years. However, it's not nearly as popular as it should be. Carnosine functions in excitable tissues such as muscle and nerve tissues, and it reaches high concentrations in skeletal muscle. In these tissues, it's critically important for maintaining the proper pH and the electrical charge. Carnosine is often confused with carnitine. Both contain the root word carn. This means flesh, as they're both found in higher concentrations in meat and fish. Since vegetarian sources of protein don't contain carnosine, a vegetarian diet might not provide the adequate preformed carnosine. At this time, clinical studies have shown supplementing with carnosine can improve muscle function and recovery from muscle fatigue, can protect against degradation of the brain, as well as loss of cognitive function and memory that's associated with aging, improve mental function and behavior in children with attention deficit disorder and autism, and heal peptic ulcers when it's combined with zinc. In addition to being important for regulating the electrical charge in excitable tissues, research has shown carnosine to be important to cellular health for other reasons. In muscles, carnosine neutralizes the extensive formation of lactic acid during high-intensity exercise, and it promotes recovery from the exercise. These effects accelerate the working capacity of the muscle, exhausted by the preceding exercise, and explain carnosine's popularity among bodybuilders and athletes. Carnosine is also an important intracellular antioxidant. It's been shown to scavenge reactive oxygen species, as well as to protect against peroxidation of cell membrane fatty acids during oxidative stress. It's also demonstrated significant anti-aging effects related in part to its antioxidant effects, but it also prevents glycation, the attachment of sugar molecules to proteins that's associated with premature aging. Carnosine is especially critical for protecting the brain against neurodegeneration, as well as loss of cognitive function and memory. Carnosine has been shown to rejuvenate connective tissue cells, and this can explain its beneficial effects on wound healing, as well as its use for trying to fight the effects of aging in the skin, causing wrinkles and loss of elasticity. The carnosine levels in the body decline with age. By the time a person is 70, carnosine levels have decreased in the body by 63%. Because of all of these effects, carnosine is becoming a well-known longevity and anti-aging nutrient. The primary focus of the clinical research on carnosine has focused on its anti-aging effects, as well as its effects on the brain. In regards to general anti-aging effects, several clinical studies have highlighted the potential of carnosine to slow down the aging process by preventing the oxidative damage as well as glycation. In addition, carnosine has also been shown to directly and indirectly inhibit the release of inflammatory mediators like cytokines. Reducing silent inflammation is becoming another key target, not only for anti-aging strategies, but also to help prevent the development of chronic degenerative diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Given the unique action of carnosine on the brain, it might be an ideal agent for preventing age-related decline in cognitive function and memory. In regard to boosting brain power, several double-blind, placebo-controlled studies have looked at the use of carnosine in patients with neurodegenerative conditions. In one study, it compared a daily dose of 0.75 grams or 2 grams of carnosine to a placebo for 3 weeks in 42 patients with chronic encephalopathy, a brain disorder that's a progressive degenerative disease, most often seen in individuals with a history of multiple concussions and other forms of head injuries. Significant improvements in cognitive function and reduction in oxidative stress were found in the carnosine group. Another study examined the effects of 1.5 grams of carnosine every day for 30 days in patients who were treated with L-DOPA. The addition of the carnosine to the treatment regime significantly improved the neurological symptoms, with a 36% improvement in symptoms compared to a 16% improvement in the control group. Clinical signs of Parkinson's disease include decreased body movement and rigidity of the extremities, and these were also significantly improved. This improvement in the everyday activity of the Parkinson patients allows them more independence and a better quality of life. Because of carnosine's beneficial effects for improving both muscle and brain function, researchers at Georgetown University recently assessed its effects in Gulf War illness, or chronic multi-symptom illness, terms used to describe the disabling fatigue, widespread pain, and cognitive dysfunction experienced by about 25% of Gulf War veterans. A leading theory proposes that this is the result of the wartime exposure to a variety of factors, including vaccinations, various chemicals, and stress. These factors initiate prolonged production of inflammation, free radicals, and the resulting injury to the brain, nervous system, and the muscle tissue. Since carnosine has been shown to protect the brain and the muscle cells from the sort of damage that underlies these symptoms, a double-blind, placebo-controlled study was designed to determine if the nutritional supplementation with the carnosine would significantly improve their pain, cognition, and fatigue. The 12-week study had 25 subjects, and they were given L-carnosine at doses of 500 mg, 1000 mg, 1500 mg, increasing at 4-week intervals, or a placebo. The primary outcomes included measures assessing the cognitive function, feeling of fatigue and pain, and the activity levels. The only measure that showed consistent benefit was the influence of carnosine on improving the mental function. While researchers had hoped to see improvement in all areas, the ability of the carnosine supplementation to improve the mental function in these patients was significant, and it adds additional clinical support for carnosine in this application. Carnosine might also be helpful for improving brain function in autism. In one double-blind, placebo-controlled trial in 31 children with autism, carnosine was shown to improve the expressive and receptive vocabulary and subjective improvement on an autism rating scale over an 8-week trial at a dose of 800 mg per day. Zinc increases mucin production in the cell culture studies, and it's been shown to have a protective effect on peptic ulcers in animal studies. In human studies, zinc supplementation appears to be helpful for healing peptic ulcers, with the zinc bound to carnosine being the most beneficial. Clinical studies in humans using the zinc carnosine show not only its ability to heal peptic ulcers, but also to antagonize the bacteria Helicobacter pylori, which is linked to indigestion, peptic ulcer disease, and stomach cancer. In one double-blind trial, 248 patients with confirmed gastric ulcers were randomly assigned to one of 4 groups, receiving 150 mg of zinc carnosine extract or its respective placebo, or 800 mg of cetraxate hydrochloride or its respective placebo. The study medications were started within 1 week of an endoscopy-diagnosed gastric ulcer and were continued for 8 weeks. At 8 weeks, 75% of the zinc carnosine group experienced a marked improvement in their symptoms compared to 72% in the cetraxate group. The typical dose for taking advantage of the anti-aging effects of carnosine is 1,500 to 2,000 mg per day. For children with autism, the dose is 800 to 1,000 mg per day. For peptic ulcers and indigestion, the dose of zinc carnosine is usually 75 mg twice per day. There was no adverse effects or drug interactions at the recommended doses. To book a consultation or to learn about herbs, supplements, and natural treatments, check out my website.